chosen to finish on the left lane, letting Ron Williams finish on the right where he struck out there, or at least got 2 strikes and 8 to win the match.
Williams with a revamped angle and ball, starts it inside, strikes to open up the title game.
And I don't know what Pete Weber is going to do. He's played outside all week long, but boy, if I were he, I would be watching where Williams were playing those lanes and move in there.
Out of the gate, soft 10 for the top seed. Average 215.6 on this pair of lanes throughout the week. And had a brilliant week. Went 19-4-1 in match play. At one stretch, he won 10 consecutive matches. Won all 8 games in the second round of match play and evolved into the lead.
And just left the field behind by over 300 pins. Blows in that thumb hole. Push way up a little higher now. So he gets it up here closer to his chin. Bends those knees. And leaves another 10 pin. That pin's going to come up short, or at least won't hit it hard enough. He says, no, don't you fall.
Peter trying to wave it off a little bit there, and obviously very pleased with his performance this week. He has been in a slump, make no mistake about that, as makes the 10 pin by a freckle.
By a freckle or a hair.
Not by much, in other words.
Yeah.
Getting back to that point, though, he's had a very difficult year. Just has not had a good year at all, and was just tickled to be the top seed.
Only made $38,000 this year, which for some players would be all right, but for Pete Weber, as he trips the 4 and the 10 out there. Finish that thought. It's not a good year for Pete Weber, but this is a good strike for Ron Williams. As he gets the ball in a little bit more, he's right around that 3rd arrow. Now watch the 2 pin, and if you can, the other eye. See the 10 pin fall? They both fall right together.
Now, how are you going to watch both of those?
Well, I don't know.
Watch the 2 pin with one eye and the 6 pin with the other.
There we see the winner gets $10,000 here.
Well, should I look at the top number or the bottom number? Ron Williams is thinking only of one number, 300, and then maybe 20,000 to follow it.
That's the number he's thinking of, and number 3 is what he's thinking of for 3 titles.
Pete Weber with 13 career championships, one of only 3 players to win the PBA's Triple Crown, joining John Petraglia and Billy Hardwick. Right now, he's going to need to summon all that experience, and he slashes the rack and strikes in the 3rd frame. We're a long way from finishing this one.
Big strike coming up right now. He needs to strike and put pressure on Ron Williams. As we see his Triple Crown, 87 Firestone, 88 U.S. Open in Atlantic City, and then the PBA National in Toledo, Ohio.
Didn't take him long, did it?
No, 3 successive years. Just amazing the player that young could do that much.
Youngest player ever to win 10 PBA championships. And the list goes on and on. Right now, he'd give a lot of it for a double. And he dances it out. So Weber says, hey, hold on. I've got a double here. I'm trying to climb back into this one.
And watch, he really stroked this ball. See it just revving up. Watch the 6 go, and just enough to get out the 10. And he's looking at the 10 all the way. Gives it his Hulk Hogan routine.
Well, he's thrown 4 shots in the pocket. He has 2 strikes. Meanwhile, Ron Williams trying to make it 4 in a row.
Probably moved a half a board or so in the approach after tripping that 4 out so high and came up just a little bit light. I know whenever I tripped the 4 pin or left it or something like that, I would fudge just a little bit left.
Or so. Why wouldn't you just throw a little harder?
Well, that's another move, but I was speed control was not the ace weapon of me. Moving my feet, I was better at it.
Well, you have to do what you do best. Ron Williams leads by 10. And our first 3 matches have been decided by a total of 9 pins.
What's interesting, though, is that Ron Williams has won 2 matches here and has yet to shoot 200.
Just goes to show you that an even par score sometimes is plenty good enough to win.
Not too often, Dennis.
He's averaging 195.5 for the championship round. That's way right. Almost left the 2.45, ends up with just the 2.5.
And again, he gives it that motion where he went over the top of the ball with that hand. Fast, he was reading his lips there. Guys are always doing that. They're analyzing every shot that they've just thrown. Now he needs to just get his attention on making this spare. Hard and straight, no trouble.
You ever use a lot of self-talk, Mike?
Oh, every bowler I think uses a lot of self-talk. The fight, Dennis, is to keep the self-talk positive and not get down on yourself and get it negative.
A double in the third and the fourth, trails by 8, could lead for the first time in this one with a strike in the fifth.
Trip. Puts him right in the match. That gives him a lead. There's Nicole. Boy, is she pretty.
Pretty excited.
This gives him a lead by 2 pins with that tremendously high backswing. The ball is making that left turn, just like every shot that you ever threw.
He's got that inside a target now. Don't tell me he didn't. That's a couple boards inside, don't you think?
Well, there's a little bit inside, but it still held. I mean,
oh, yeah?
We've seen lane 16 hold all night long.
Yeah, let's see if he can make it 4 in a row. Stretches out, likes the shot, and the hammer is provided by Weber, who has stormed back to take a 12-pin lead.
And we'll see if all this running around on the approach intimidates his opponent at all, or whether Ron Williams is just not paying any attention, and he's going to give him right back with some strikes of his own. We said that Pete Weber, when he got his first double, that it was a big shot for him. This is a big shot for Ron Williams right now to put some pressure back on Pete Weber, cut the lead to 2 pins. So it's an excellent shot here. Ball hits half pocket, snaps out that 10-pin. I like his reaction. It's businesslike. The next one's the real important shot. The old bucket crumbler.
A bucket crumbler in the 7th. And now this one flips back. And Weber now leads by 2 as he enters the 7th frame, working on a 4-bagger.
Well, we've had some good matches here tonight.
Excellent matches.
Outstanding TV record there by Petey Weber.
But he is 3 and 8 from the top seed position. Oh my, that was a sweet shot there, Mike Urban. That's maybe the nicest shot he's thrown tonight.
Well, he's just stroking the ball so pretty. Every shot is just clean off the hand. And the ball just is making so many revolutions without that added effort. I mean, it's just very pretty to watch. Well, watch this 5-step approach and the height of this backswing. Now watch the hand release. Oh, just a pretty follow through there. He's looking at it at the 10-pin, and he kicks it over. Couldn't kick it hard enough that time.
Not this time. The 10-pin stands, and Petey a little upset with himself. He's hit the pocket 8 consecutive shots as 3 10-pins.
3 10-pins and 5 strikes. He's right in the match.
You know, it's amazing. A player of his caliber makes that little adjustment in ball position to start, and it sets up that world-class timing that he's had his whole life.
Well, it probably also triggers the confidence. I mean, the feel starts to come back, and then you start to believe in yourself again.
And when you have that kind of ability and the confidence starts to rise, watch out.
Williams down by 11. Cuts it to 1. That right lane's just holding pocket all the way. What a match here. 230 to 230 right now. 1 pin counts 8 for Weber, 7 for Williams.
Many years Ron Williams bowling out of the Midwest region. Of course, Petey Weber grew up there. These guys have tangled before.
Well, Ron Williams isn't afraid. You can see that. Weber's not intimidating, and neither is the name. Foundation. Boy!
Fans really appreciating what's taking place here this evening.
Good speed. Excellent clean release. All 10 pins in the pit. Weber now, ninth frame, has to respond.
Good speed. Perfect shot for Weber, who, if he takes it off the sheet, will end up with a game of 258.
But if I'm adding right, that won't be enough to lock out Mr. Ron Williams. I'm having trouble adding all these strikes. We haven't had these.
Yeah, could be 267 to 258, and believe me, Ron Williams very much realizing where his Weber opts for the re-rack on lane 15.
Weber for the lead with this strike. Will it carry? Yes!
Oh, look at the glare in Pete Weber's eyes.
That's the fire and the fight of a champion right there. That's inherited genes.
All right, let's set up the scenario. If he strikes here, he forces Williams to double, right?
Forces Williams to get two, right? Anything can happen. In the 250s.
Oh, he's back in a big way. A game of 258 if he strikes here, but will it be enough?
If I'm adding right, he needs 9 pins to make Williams get 2 strikes in the 10th frame.
Oh, that's what a year without winning will do to you. He has performed like a champion here this evening, and he finishes out with a solid 10 pick.
257. There won't be a tie, Denny.
We haven't time for a tie. Top Rank Boxing coming up next.
Well, Ron Williams did it last game. Can he do it for the title?
Deja vu for Ron Williams.
More speed. And no! Woo! I'll tell you what, Denny. Professional bowling doesn't get any better than this game. This is it. It comes down after 42 games all week, after 130 some players in the tournament. After all these match games, it comes down to one shot.
Ron knows since he said for the win.
Too much room.
Does not get it.
And Pete Weber right now thanking his lucky stars that Williams couldn't come up with the shot that would ice it. Pete Weber, $20,000 richer, but I'll guarantee he lost a couple of days somewhere in between.
Live life your way.
It was a fantastic match.